The leaders of the two largest economies in the Eurozone met on Wednesday, but there were no great new substantive measures produced from the summit. Both Nicolas Sarkozy and Angela Merkel also ruled out further expansion of the EFSF, as were Eurobonds. To discuss the meeting, I'm joined by Nick Kunis from Dutch bank ABN AMRO. Nick, are you surprised the meeting didn't produce anything more concrete?
I'm not surprised at all, actually. I think markets had become excited about the prospect of a meeting and had started to speculate that there would be more substance in terms of the outcome. But I think that if you looked at the briefings from the Sarkozy and Merkel camps leading up to the meeting, it was pretty clear that nothing spectacular would be decided.
Aren't we getting to a stage when we need firm commitment to solutions? Otherwise, this whole project is going to fall apart.
Well, I think they do need to move quickly. It's not yet too late. The ECB has bought policymakers some time with its bond purchase program. And I think that we do need to see steps towards fiscal union. I think the most efficient way of doing that over the long term is via the introduction of Eurobonds. Obviously, that's going to be a long-term process, but I think that financial markets are actually looking for some concrete steps towards fiscal union. As well as the structures which would support a fiscal union, which does mean more economic governance, which does mean that countries have to have more of a say in terms of each other's budgets, and so there does need to be economic governance, and that was a word that was used in following yesterday's Merkel-Sarkozy meeting. However, there was no real details, and I think that was a disappointing area.
What do you think the leaders in the Eurozone now need to do in the short term to reassure markets?
The markets can be calmed by signs that Europe is moving towards fiscal union. So I don't think that we need to have Eurobonds tomorrow in order to contain the crisis. I think a sense that there is real unity of purpose, and that there are sort of solid, concrete plans to move us in the direction of fiscal union, would in itself be a very, very strong signal to financial markets. In terms of the short term, or let's say the interim arrangements, probably raising the EFSF, to be able to handle any kind of short-term problems would also be a good step. So, I think that that kind of package of measures would reassure markets, that would kind of contain the crisis. It must be said, of course, at the same time that this is going to be apart from these institutional things which will take time. Of course, the structural reforms and fiscal consolidation that the peripheral countries need will also take many years. So, nothing in the near term is going to end this crisis. But what we need to do is actually contain it so that it doesn't get out of control. Which could have extremely serious effects on the economy.
Thank you, Nick. We've got plenty of insights from the world's leading financial institutions here on Dugacoscopy TV, so don't go anywhere. Goodbye for now.